very pleasant good morning to you guys. Thank you for taking the time out of your schedule and to be here to celebrate the 10th edition of the largest international trade exhibition for the stationery, paper, gifts, and office supplies industry in the Middle East. So thank you for being here today. Please let's extend a warm welcome to our first speaker for the day. Because the spotlight today will be on e-commerce, we have a very special program planned for you and to your benefits. And please join hands for a round of applause to the first speaker, the Vice President of Dubai Commerce City, Rashid Al Mulla.
Thank you, Rab, for the warm welcome and good morning, everyone. Hope all is well. Hope you're enjoying the exhibition. Today I thought I'd give you a bit of an outlook or a brief outlook on what's happening in the world of e-commerce before even going into what Dubai Commerce City is all about. So if you've looked at what happened in the past year or even the past 2 years, you'll notice that there's definitely been a global and regional shift that's happening in the world of e-commerce, meaning there's a lot more traction happening on two forefronts. Number one, lots of suppliers are finally, valuing or re-evaluating their position in terms of being either a traditional business or shifting into e-commerce, as well as from a buyer's perspective, because lots of buyers are also, keen on satisfying their requirements, their needs through e-commerce and digital portals. If you look at just some of the statistics, you can see that in 2019 up to 2022 expectations, we're estimating an 85% increase in global e-retail sales. This number is quite, I would say, amplified compared to the previous years or pre-COVID years. Another statistic that you can look at as well. If you see that in June 2020, global e-commerce traffic was estimated at 22 billion visits. Now, there's no denying that COVID-19 was, for certain a catalyst towards this, I would say, exponential growth. In addition to that, the MENA's e-commerce sales in 2019 were valued at 34.69 USD in billions, and they're expected to reach 49 billion by 2022. That alone is an increase of 41%. Now, if you look at it in terms of what happened here in the UAE and KSA specifically, you would see that this has also been reflected in the local markets here. Now, why do I say UAE and KSA specifically? Because these are the two fastest growing markets. These are the two markets that are quickly adopting e-commerce. The UAE's 2020 e-commerce market was valued at 27.2 billion USD. And this has been year-on-year growth with an exponential growth in the COVID year. And this is also reflected in all of the GCC markets, not just these two markets. 79% of the consumers in the UAE and 95% in KSA are now also spending more online, meaning there's more trust happening in terms of online transactions, in terms of people's, I would say, confidence in terms of doing purchases online. 48% of the consumers in the UAE and 69% in KSA are continuing their habits even post COVID-19. So yes, COVID-19 is not technically over, but restrictions are reduced, people are out and about, but still, a majority of the consumers that adopted e-commerce and got used to e-commerce during COVID are still continuing these shopping habits online. Also, the UAE's e-commerce industry is set to reach 63.8 billion by the year of 2023. So if you look at why has e-commerce boomed specifically and why was it growing even before COVID in the UAE? This is down to, I would say, four major reasons or four major pillars that contributed towards this growth, especially here in the UAE. Number one, there's high digital penetration. Believe it or not, 99.9% of the population here has access to the internet. 95% are mobile phone users. There's the average spend per transaction is also quite high. So this was even particularly true before, looking at e-commerce. So even in the traditional markets, the average spend here per capita is quite high. So this reflected naturally towards e-commerce as well. The third reason is improved logistics. So as most of you know, Dubai was founded on the efficient and strategic locations in terms of the logistics that is provided either through ports, airports, and so on, and even within the city in terms of infrastructure. So this also contributed positively towards e-commerce, because e-commerce is all about connectivity, logistics, fast deliveries, and because we're very spoiled here, even same-day deliveries. So this is all important. Reason number 4, and I think this is quite an important reason as well, there's huge government intent backing e-commerce. E-commerce has been identified as one of the sectors in Dubai's 2025 plan, and the government is actively, I would say, going after certain aspects in e-commerce. So fintech is one of them, facilitating e-commerce is one of them, ease of customs and clearance is one of them. So the government is identifying certain, I would say, speed bumps that existed in the past, and they're actively looking at enhancing them further and further. So speaking about COVID-19, this is what I was talking about just now. So we noticed that online orders literally doubled during COVID-19. Average daily sales increased by 200%. In the period of the lockdown, Jan to March, look what happened. So, traffic went up by 12%. In Jan to June, if you look at that period, online traffic went by 10.2% on average. Online transactions went up by 32.9%. Again, most of this happened because people were forced down this path, right? So this is not something that we just accepted for no reason. It's, I would say, an event that happened, that shifted the habits of consumers. The good thing is, as I just discussed, this is not just a fad or a temporary shift. We noticed that this shift is there to stay, and in fact, it's growing year on year. So to kind of connect what that means and what Dubai Commerce City has to offer. Now, we know that lots of buyers are looking to satisfy their needs online. They're looking to satisfy their purchases. They're looking for convenience in terms of e-commerce. They've adopted that, and the numbers are growing. But at the same time, not all suppliers, not all companies are able to offer their services and products online. Some of them might have the know-how, some of them might have, the partial know-how on how to do it, and some might be, literally clueless on how to, shift from a traditional brick and mortar type of store or business down to e-commerce. So this is where Dubai Commerce City comes in. Our role is not just offices and smart desks and warehousing facilities. Yes, we do offer that as a core product. But our role here is enabling e-commerce and enabling these traditional companies to shift from a traditional model to an e-commerce model, and we're taking care of it from A to Z. So Dubai Commerce City itself is strategically located in Dubai. We are in the Mall area, and it's adjacent to Dubai International Airport. Now, some would say, why Mall? So Mall is quite a significant and strategic location in Dubai for 2 reasons. It has good access to both north and west. It's adjacent to the airport, so this takes care of your local logistics here. If you're into e-commerce, it takes care of your regional through the airport and also international. The project on its own is a total area of 2.1 million square feet. The investment is around 3.2 billion Arab Emirates dirhams, and we started operations just in April. So from April to this date, we're nearly at around 110 companies already registered. So this tells you that there's huge interest happening in the world of e-commerce in terms of traditional companies even wanting to shift to e-commerce. The project is divided, as you can see, into 3 main clusters. So you have the business cluster, which has 12 office buildings, 6 floors up, and this houses your smart desks, your premium offices, fitted offices, shell and core. We have a variety of offices offered for different categories of business, and also for the different requirements that each client has. Down the middle there, this is what we call the heart of Dubai Commerce City, so it's not just a place to do business. This is the social cluster, and it houses multiple restaurants, food halls, cafes, retail stores, exhibition centers, exhibition halls. So this is kind of a lively place to be. And the good thing about it is, unlike any other free zone, this is literally ungated, so it's open to the public. So it's not just a business park that's open, for offices and for warehouses. No, this is also a place to be, a place for people to socialize and to connect. Then on the far right, you have the logistics cluster. So this is also, I would say, a key part of Dubai Commerce City. Our warehousing facilities are quite unique because, keep in mind, this project was built for e-commerce. It wasn't the other way around. We did not adopt e-commerce. So the warehousing facilities are built in terms of scalability. So you can literally start with a fulfillment center we have there in partnership with Hellman. You can start with a shelving space, literally from a shelving space, move up to multiple shelves, to let's say racks, multiple racks, go up in the racks, and then expand to a warehouse. And even then, with the warehouse, you're able to partition it, let's say, starting from 100 square meters and then as your business requirements grows, you start moving out into bigger offices. The wonderful thing about this, and even if you're starting, let's say with the fulfillment center with Hellman can take care of your stocking needs. They can take care of managing your stock, shipping out your stock, and even returning your stock. So this is less of a hassle for someone who's just entered e-commerce or doesn't have the full I would say means or financial capacity to take care of operations end to end. So this is the fulfillment center that I was talking about, 22,000 square meters. This will be the largest e-fulfillment center currently in the heart of Dubai, in a very strategic location that would serve most of the company's e-commerce needs. So as I said, we're not just about a tenant-landlord relationship, but our value proposition is quite different to any other free zone. So yes, we're the leading free zone when it comes to e-commerce. We do have offices, we do have warehousing facilities, but we're trying to offer literally full end-to-end e-commerce services, meaning from your basics, such as starting up and setting up your business. So this goes without saying with any other free zone. Then you have your e-commerce business support services. So these would be things such as setting up your online portal, setting up your payment gateways. You might need also e-commerce strategy consulting. So as we said, not everybody, I would say, is a PhD on e-commerce. So this is where our team comes in. The team that's been built there is an e-commerce, I would say, centric team. Most of them have 10 plus years of experience in the world of e-commerce, and we are there just to help and support any business in terms of filling up these gaps. Even in terms of, I would say, digital marketing, analytics, marketing strategy consultations, we do that as well. And we've had some wonderful examples, to be honest. So we've had companies that came in from Europe. They've developed some wonderful marketing strategies that work, let's say, in the UK. They have adopted the same strategy in the US, and it worked somewhat. In France, it also worked. But then when they set up here in Dubai and implemented the same strategy, it was a disaster. So it didn't work, for a number of reasons. Number one, if you're doing a strategy in the UK, you're basically tailoring it to one type of segment or one type of culture, let's say. However, if you try to do the same thing in Dubai, you're dealing with how many nationalities? We're talking 200 plus here. Different languages as well. So any slang you might use in the UK, any type of, I would say, metaphors might not be applicable here. People would read the messaging, people would read your positioning, and they'll be a bit lost on what you're trying to say there. So these are just some basics that some people miss out on. So in a nutshell, we're offering these comprehensive turnkey e-commerce solutions. These 6 pillars have been identified by Dubai Commerce City as being your basics. This is what you need to run an e-commerce business, to be successful in terms of running an e-commerce business. So they come in terms of e-commerce technology platforms and services, strategy consulting, business setup support, and custom support, which is your basic. You have your warehousing and last mile delivery, because this is also a key function in terms of e-commerce, digital marketing and customer analytics, in addition to e-commerce business support services. Now, just so this doesn't seem like it's just marketing talk, so we've actually put this into action. So these are the companies that we've partnered with in terms of implementing each and every of these 6 pillars. So you have some companies which I'm sure some of you are familiar of. You have Hellman, DHL, EPG. These will take care of your logistics requirements. You have, for example, Mentiki, Creative 971, Alibaba Cloud, who are also partnering with us in terms of e-commerce platforms and services, and also in terms of digital marketing and customer analytics. For your fintech payment gateways, of course, everybody's familiar with Network International, Concentrix, GBM, and also for business setup and custom support, you have the likes of RTC and MCA. So you can see that we've looked at it from each and every different perspective. And we have partners that are already there in Dubai Commerce City, and they're already with pre-negotiated rates. So you would say, why would I set up and use these companies? Because we can guarantee that these companies would offer you better value versus anybody out there in the market. This is why we went ahead and partnered with these companies ourselves. So this place, or Dubai Commerce City, is offering you business setup plus e-commerce support services all in one place. So this is not just come set up with us and then good luck with your business. No, this is the other way around. It's come, let us see how you can be efficient about doing your business, and then we'll start setting you up. So in a nutshell, this is what we're offering. We're offering a turnkey solution, optimized to your business, customized to your requirements, and it's all done in-house and as efficient as possible. Thank you so much. So this brings us to the end of the presentation. Hope it wasn't too long. Hope it was quite informative for you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. More than happy to answer any of them. In case you come up with any other questions later on, or if you want to send any inquiries as well, this is my phone number right there. This is my email. You can feel free to contact me at any time, however you want. Thank you so much.